Hey there! Welcome back to Raymond's Films Recap with me, Ray, as your narrator. Today we're gonna recap a fantastic post-apocalyptic film titled Children of Men. Please beware of the spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The movie started by showing some people watching the news together in a public area, where the youngest person right now is recently passed away. His name was Diego. He's an 18 years and 4 months old. He is the latest person to be born on Earth, because it's been 18 years human being couldn't having a child anymore. The world mourned for him. A man named Theo felt the same. The whole world seems to be in a rumble. There is just some remaining places that still considered habitable. One of them were in the UK. So naturally people on the whole world wanted to immigrate to Britain. One day, Theo go meeting his friend called Caspar. There he is talking about a human project in an unknown place. He said that that is the only place to survive from mass extinction that about to come to the human species. Theo is in his way to work, and there are still many people mourning for Diego's death. Some people then kidnap Theo, bring him to a place. Turns out that it was his old friend called Julia. Julia kidnapped him for a purpose. She wanted Theo to get her a transit ladder, where the ladder will be used by an immigrant to cross a border. Then they let Theo go. Theo then meeting a minister from London. He recognized the minister. There he asked for a transit ladder. He said it was for his girlfriend's sister that got sick. After some arguments, Theo successfully convinced the minister to give Theo the ladder. But the ladder was a joint ladder, where Theo is the one who should took the person crossing the border. Then Theo met again with Julia. Turns out that Julia is Theo's ex-wife, where they used to have a child but unfortunately he's dead. Then they were separated until they met again recently. Then they go to some place where the border was. It's on the beach. Inside the car, there's 5 people including Theo's. They call themselves fish groups. Except Theo, he's just a regular guy who happens to be trusted by Julia. On their way, they got stopped by a group of people. They attacked the car that the group used. The group then ran away fleeing the scene. Unfortunately, Julia died there. She got shot during the raid. Theo still felt sad on the inside, but he didn't want to show it. The remaining group then decided to go to a place for hiding. It was one of their safe houses. They'll be safe there. Now they think it's too dangerous for them to continue the journey. The group then made Theo meet a woman at some barn. The woman that was with him on the car. Her name was Key. Key then tells Theo what Julia said to her, that the only person she can trust is Theo. Then Key shows something to him. She reveals that she is indeed now pregnant. Key is 8 months pregnant. That surprises Theo, because in the past 18 years human being couldn't get pregnant. Now Theo realized that the transit ladder is really important, because humanity's stake is at Key. If Key and her child survive, it could save them from extinction. On the night, Theo saw a crowd outside. He silently heard what the group was talking about. Turns out that Julia's death is also part of their plan. They wanted Key's baby. because with that baby, there will be more people join the group. Then they can prevent human from extinction on their own way. It was all the idea from a person named Luke, someone who is with Theo and Julia before. Theo now really doubted the group intention. Then Theo tells Key everything he just heard. He then takes Key to get out from the house, and there's someone named Maria. Then she joined Key to escape, because Maria is the only one who can deliver the baby later. She was afraid that there would be problem on Key's pregnancy. Theo then took all the car keys to slow them down. They successfully escaped from the house. He knows where to go now. The only place that was safe is to Caspar's place, the only remaining Theo's friend whom he trusts. Seeing Theo brought a pregnant woman, Caspar welcomes them. He knows exactly that they should go to the human project. Caspar then get out from there. Sometime later he came back. He tells them that he had a friend, a soldier who is in charge on the border that can get them there. But they should disguise themselves as immigrants so that they can be arrested and brought up to a refugee shelter, and then they are crossed the border. They cross to the beach and finally to the human project. The project is in offshore places. Later that night, Caspar's alarm system rings. Outside, there was the group that already knows about Key and Theo. Theo then ran away from there with Key and Maria. Caspar decided to stay. He will try to slow the group down. Theo goes to an abandoned building. It was a school building. Caspar told them to go there. There they will meet Caspar's friend. The school building were a real mess. There is no kid using them anymore. If this mission is not worked out, the human being will really be extinct in 50 years. So Key's pregnancy was the key to save human species. Then the soldier came and brought them to where all the immigrants were in, and later to the refugees' place. And now they are on their way to the shelter, inside the bus with other immigrants. All of them were in the desperation, because they all gave up hope to the human being. At some point, kids were having a contraction. She felt an unbearable pain. They are now at the first checkpoint. There, they would pick up suspicious immigrant that about to cross. Maria, who is all this time took care of Key, didn't make it. She got thrown out from the bus for some of her past records. Now there's only Theo and Key. They make it to the shelter. Key were already about to giving birth to the baby. Then they got help from the immigrant named Marika to a place to stay. In the shelter, there is no more electricity, so when the night comes, it's going to be dark there. On the room, Theo tried to help Key giving birth to her baby. We see Key is giving birth to his child. Then Key's baby is born. This is the first baby that has been born in a long time. In the morning, there's someone comes to them. He realized that there was a baby. They're all surprised, including Marika. Turns out he's going to take Key and Theo to the group, because they were wanted by them. He thought that he would have the reward for bringing Key and Theo to them. Theo then started running away from him. They now need to find the boat because the situation there were in chaos. There will be a massive revolt that about to happen. Fortunately, with Marika's help, they can find someone who can give them a boat to go to the human project. They are now going to the boat. But in the situation is a mess. The chaos between immigrant and the soldier were getting more serious. When they almost there, the group found and catch Kai. Theo escaped. Theo tells Marika to go to the tunnel and wait for him there. Theo tried to save Ki because she was being held by Luke from the group. He then came to the building where it was in a ruin after the uprising. There he tried to save Ki when he heard something. He heard a baby cry. After he found them, Theo then get her out of there. Now people knows that there is a baby there. They were surprised and shocked. They give away to Ki and Theo. The baby sparked a hope for a human being. Even the soldier on charge there ordered a ceasefire. They are shocked too, knowing there is a baby there. The LRs really stopped fighting for a while, to give way for them. And now they are going to the boat with Marika. But Marika didn't join them. She stays there to give way to Theo, Ki, and the baby. Now the three of them go to the open sea. They are about to arrive to Human Project. But it's too late. The Human Project is not open anymore. But Theo believes that they will pick the three of them again soon. Turns out Theo was shot when he was looking for Ki at the building before. The baby then cries, and then Theo tried to comfort them. He remembered his child in his marriage before with Julia. Finally, Ki knows what name that should be given to the baby. It was Dylan. Same name with Theo's son that died before. Theo then started to fade out, and then later, he died. And now there is only Ki and her baby on the open sea. And then sometimes later, there was a light from afar. It was the boat where the Human Project was. Then Ki and Dylan were saved. And now human species really have a new hope, where they could continue to live on. And on that point, the movie is over.